Good evening, residents of Choa Chu Kang. 我将用两种语文来说。I will use two languages for this short speech. What are you looking for in the opposition parties, in the candidates? I know among the viewers here, there are people who have undecided who to vote for. Now, let me introduce my concept of what constitutes good politicians. We want politicians with a passion, like Mr. Low Tia Kiang. We want politicians who have a fire, like JBJ. We want politicians with a heart and soul, like Mr. Cham Si Tong. And we want politicians with an intellect, like Dr. Chi Sun Chuan. This is what we want in Parliament. Right. I may not have fully all this, but I can dare to tell you this. My team have the passion, the fire in the belly, the courage, the intellect, and most importantly, the sincerity and the heart to serve the Singaporeans. I've been through politics for all these years. I've seen many people come and go. As political leaders, I have to assess each and every one that I meet, that come to me, whether I can view them as a candidate, whether they deserve to go into Parliament. And these are the four things I look into them. I'm not looking into scholars, because you can have a scholars, but they have no passion to serve. They have no fire in the belly, and they have no heart for Singaporeans. And this is what PPP have right now. Is it right? We do not want people who are very intelligent, but yet they use it in the wrong way. For example, Ma Pao Tan is actually an extremely intelligent person. Very, very intelligent. Every ministry that he goes, the ministry will make money. Right? He can create one piece of paper and he have billions for the government throughout the years. ERP, COE. And he control the properties, increase the property prices, and he make money for the government through land sales. He's an extremely intelligent guy, but he doesn't have a heart for the people. And this is why I have to contest in Tampines last election. Even though we did not win, but the support of real voters of Tampines, they've given us over 40%. Never in our life, in Tampines, you get over 40%. And he sent a very strong signal that these ministers, Ma Pao Tan, must go. And yes, he went. But, of course, freedom of choice is not free. We pay a price. We come up with money. Some of us lost our job because of the contest. But that doesn't matter. What matters is we do it right for Singapore. What matters is through our competition, our contest, we changes the HDB policy And now, they anyhow built, without control, without quality. They go to the other extreme. But that is not my problem right now. because I'm in Choa Chu Kang. Now, Zaiki, in his rally speech, right, somehow questioned us, why are we in Choa Chu Kang? Why Goh Meng Seng is in Choa Chu Kang? Why Safarin is in Choa Chu Kang? We should be in Tampines if we want to win. But to us, winning is not everything. Why? We want to get rid of ministers that's underperforming. Even if we do not win, by your votes, send us a very strong signal, 45%, and Mr. Gunn will have to go. Before I am going to talk about why Mr. Gunn have to go, I have to reply to Mr. Zaki, right? We are here because not only Mr. Gunn is not performing, the whole team in Choa Chu Kang, PAP is not performing. I will list out what went wrong. Now, first of all, PAP itself have been shifting candidates like nobody business. Right. Zaiki own teammate right now, Mr. E, came from where? Punggol East. So what's wrong with us coming here? Yogo Kwang was in Ang Mo Kio and was sent with a suicide team to Arjunit. Chow Song, lagi good, always changing. Now also suicide in Punggol East. But we are not a suicide team. We are the Minister Slayer. My dear Choa Chu Kang residents, please do not be distracted by such strange logic, asking why we are here. We are here because they are complacent. And they want to distract you from the national issues. They do not want to talk about policies. They do not want to debate with me about policies. They want to sidetrack. They want to smear. Talk bad about others. This is not good politics. Is this first world politics? No? Is this first world politics? No. Now, the MPs here in Choa Chu Kang neither raise good national issues, nor they have done good jobs in Choa Chu Kang. I will list it out. When we walk the ground, people from Nanyang, anyone from Nanyang here? Raise your hand. Nanyang. Almost 70% of people that we met in Nanyang said, Alvino cannot lah. He is not a good MP. Whenever go and see him, nothing jalan. And there were talks about building hawker centers, but it just remains a talk only. Not in Nanyang. If you observe, in Jurong West, there's no hawker center. In Choa Chu Kang, there's no hawker center. In Gombak, there's no hawker center. And that is why you are facing high cost of living. Now, talking about Gombak, residents in Bukit Gombak has been requesting for a covered walkway from the stretch below the MRT track, from the MRT. Now only talk only, nothing done. I was there the other day when it was raining in the morning. I saw how pathetic the residents have to brave the wind and the rain to get to work. What is the MP there doing? Sleeping. No lah, I think it's one eye closed, one eye don't know do what. Now, only recently after we are contesting here, then he come out with 5 years plan. Whose money is that first? They are using your money to campaign for themselves. Is that right? Does it mean that if they lose, they are not going to do that? If that is so, are they sincere? That's why I say PAP doesn't have sincerity and heart for the people. They are only using every means for their political power, to preserve their power. And do you want these people to be voted in? And only when we are here, they are talking about upgrade the bus terminal. You know, what is wrong with the bus terminal, you know? The design of the bus terminal was so bad. How can you have a bus lane, bus terminal, we come out with only a small 2-liter lane drive? I do not know how you live with it for all these years. And I suspect the MPs only work only 4 or 5 years away. Only when election comes, then you promise, well, I want to build this, I want to build that. But did they care during the last 4 years? Did they make any proposal to make changes to better your life? They are not interested. They are only interested in buying your votes with all these promises. Yes, buying votes with your own money. That's ironic. They didn't care of the health hazard of people living along the MRT track. You know, last election, when I was in Tampines, I raised this question. I live in Hong Kong. If there's an MRT track that cuts through the residential path area, the MTR, they call it MTR, will always build the sound barrier. Because MRT track will have screeching sound. And it affects the health of the residents. But this government is not considerate. They do not have a heart for the people. I see the whole stretch of MRT track here, but there's no sound barrier. So in Tampines, last election, I say, why do you not build a sound barrier? How much does that cost? And immediately after election, there were trial down there. Although they did not really carry out the promise, but at least they try. But did your MP raise such questions to the LTA or the MRT? Because they live in big bungalows. They are not affected by the track sound. They don't even know the problems that you face. Even if I don't live along the track sound, I have the empathy. Empathy of people. I can imagine how every day, every night, they have to listen to this screeching sound of the MRT's track. It's annoying. So I hope with our contest out here, right after election, they will build a sound barrier for all of you. And last but not least, the track record of Minister Gan. If you do not know who is Minister Gan, I will tell you here. He was elected in 2001 and become the Minister of State of the Manpower Ministry in 2005. And 2008, he became the Minister for the Manpower Ministry. Remember this, huh? Then, after the last election, he becomes the healthcare minister. I met someone at Choa Chu Kang MRT. She came out and told me this. She is very angry. Are you angry? Angry about what? Angry about the unchecked population growth, unchecked foreign labor influx. And she told me 10 years ago, when she was working for GLCs, I'm not going to mention the company name, else I get sued. She told me she worked in the HR department. And these engineers and technicians that came to apply jobs from overseas, give them a certificate, a degree, or diploma, which is printed on papers that is worse than this. And the company would just photocopy and send it to MOM, and the MOM just accepted. And they will come to Singapore and take up jobs of Singaporeans. That are the fake degrees. And this happened 10 years ago when Minister Gan was the Minister of State of the Manpower. Did he do anything to stop all this nonsense? When he was a Minister of Manpower, did he put in checks of all these qualifications, deepest qualification that came in? And I do not know how many have become PRs and citizens. Do they have any plan to do anything about it? We are a country that believes in integrity. We believe in good qualification. We believe in meritocracy, right? And our NUS and NTU are one of the top universities in the world. And we have graduates from our universities losing jobs to people with fake degrees and ended up driving taxis. This is the irony we have. And that is why I announced I can really empathize. For the young people down here that comes to listen to this rally, I can tell you, those in the 40s will lose their jobs to the younger, cheaper, with deepest fake degrees and driving license now. They are your future if you continue to vote PAP. There's no two way about it. Because PAP has no plans to do anything about it. They have no plans to check about fake degrees. Even their own IBA have fake degrees. Even NUS. You know NUS? There's one case, they employ a doctor from India with a fake master degrees to teach in NUS. Imagine our doctors are taught by people with fake degrees. How dangerous are these people? And these have been only found out when this doctor went to US. And the US people said, cannot be. He doesn't have that qualification. And he was exposed. Only in US, he was exposed. But how many students have been taught by him? Doctors who are going to save your lives or make you die. So voters of CCK, Choa Chu Kang, please do Singaporeans a favor. Vote for us to send a clear message to PAP. Minister Gan, your time is up. You should go. Now, having been a minister of manpower, he knew that how many people he have let in through the floodgate, right? Population growth have been up. When he took over the Minister of Health, he did not know that he has to solve the problems that he created. Shortage of hospital beds. We spent 3 years to build 2 casinos, But we spent 10 years to build one hospital. That is the first world country in Singapore. Why? Because casino is a cash cow. Hospital is a cost center. PAP have no heart. You only see money. That is why we ended up like that. Population have been grown for the past 10 years to 13 years, 1.2 million people. But our hospital base increased by 500. Is that enough? And he dared to say that we are going to build more hospitals in 10 years' time, 15 years' time. And by then, we have another 1.5 million. Increase of 2,000 beds for 1.5 million people population growth. Is that enough? And he have the cheek to tell the reporters for this election, healthcare is a non-issue for this election. He may have gone to hospital, but he's a VIP. He doesn't wait for 36 hours for a bed. He goes straight. That is truth. They are the VIPs. We are the peasant. We have to suffer what their policies have done to us. Now, if he is not going to build hospitals, as much as the vision of a 6.9 million people in 20 years' time, what will happen? Have anyone have gone to hospital recently? I mean, not you yourself, your families, your friends. Anyone? Unfortunately, my mother had to go into hospital 3 times. 2 times, we rejected the offer to wait for 36 hours. Because it's overcrowded. And there is a danger, if I'm overcrowded, infection will come in for old people. We would rather go home. But the last time, no choice, bo pian. Finally have a 1 bed along the corridor or the ward. My mother is 86 years old, sleeping along the corridor of the hospital. It has never been so bad. Not in the 70s, not in the 80s, not in the 90s. Only in the last 10 years. Why? You must ask yourself why. And is Minister Gan doing anything about it? Hospital is not just built, you know. You have to staff it. Where are the doctors? Where are the nurses? Foreign labor again lah. But do you know that if you get foreign laborers to be foreign doctors, they can't even understand our ama akong. How can they actually solve their problems? Not the nurses. The doctors were a translator. That is what they are doing right now. Does Mr. Gan has a concrete plan to increase the production or the training of doctors and nurses, local nurses? No. If you want to attract people into the nursing, it's not impossible. But our nurses are underpaid. That is the truth. In Hong Kong, the nurses are much well paid than Singapore. And that's why they do not have Pinoy nurses, Indian nurses, or Myanmar nurses. They have Hong Kong nurses. That is the root of a problem. Now, I know that people are angry from the ground. I actually met, not even the PMAT, not only the PMAT are angry. The lorry drivers are angry. Why? One lorry driver came to me and said, by right, the big truck, you need a class 5 license to drive. But what the PAP did? He allows foreigners with only class 4 to drive the trucks of a class 5. The catch is, increase the insurance can already. Yes, that's what is happening. That's why you have more accident with large trucks. That is a root of the problem. And companies are replacing local Singaporeans with class 5 license to replace foreigners with class 4 and just pay higher license, the insurance. That's what's happening. They have no heart because they doesn't really care about the safety. Can I drive a class 4 truck if I have only a class 3 driving license? No, right? But they are telling me they are doing all this nonsense. What is happening to our system? Everything can be compromised just for the money. That is the danger of this PAP government. Now, I have talked about this before. We are not against foreigners. We want to build our Singapore core. But PAP refused to do it. There are a lot of people, local Singaporeans have foreign spouse. But their foreign spouse cannot easily get PRs or citizenship. Why? Money again. Their money no enough. Income no enough. They refuse them to give them the PRs or the citizenship. Is that humane? No matter who we are, no matter how much money that we earn, every person desire to form their own family. Right? But PAP only looks at your income to decide whether you can have your spouse with you. And they say we are xenophobic. I say they are money-phobic. SME boss, small and medium company bosses, complain to me that our activism, I have activists down here, were against the 6.9, make their life difficult because PAP government squeeze them, reduce their quota of foreign labor. I told them, the proper way of managing this economy is for the government to look at the company and the industry and to look at the company whether they have fully automated. If they already have fully automation and they still need a certain labor, which Singaporeans are hard to get, so be it, let them have a foreign laborers, right? If they are not fully automated, then Spring Singapore should go and help them. But not those doing paperwork and get money. No. You should send real system analysts to help these small companies to improve their productivity. But are they really doing it? They only give money, they thought money can solve everything. It's not. They should help all these small companies to go around the world to learn from Japanese, the Germans, the Italian, how to run an efficient automation of their businesses. This is the only way we can reduce our dependency on foreign labor and not to throw them aside. That is not a good government. You don't squeeze people like that. And we have never heard the government-linked companies or the MNCs have any problem with foreign labor quota, right? Why? No. They're one eye big, one eye small. Money again. They look at how big you are, how much money you can bring into Singapore. That is a sad state in Singapore. I am against the ruthless, reckless, irresponsible foreign labor policy, as well as its population growth strategy. I have many foreign friends. I do business with foreign people all over Southeast Asia. Third world country, first world country. How can I be xenophobic? We are only a little tiny red dot. We are such a beautiful country. Everyone wants to come to Singapore. But can we accommodate everyone? That is the question. No. That is the question you have to ask. You have to ask Mr. Gan Kim Yong, why did you do that as a minister of manpower, flooding the whole place with foreigners, foreign workers? It is irresponsible, ruthless in the sense that you are robbing Singaporeans' jobs. You're suppressing our wages. You didn't care about how we live. Our social space has been squeezed. Do you still believe he's a good minister? Do you want to vote him out? Do you want to get rid of him? Then vote for us. Now, I would admit, it's not totally Mr. Gan's problem. It lies with the FTA, Free Trade Agreements, that Lee Hsien Loong's government have signed with a lot of countries. We have never known that free trade agreement is so important to us until we suffer the consequences. The free trade agreements allows Temasek Holding, GICs, and government-linked companies to invest in these emerging markets like India, like China. But in return, they say, okay, your people can come to Singapore to work. 127 professions from India, including doctors, accountants, lawyers, I don't know. These are the jobs that Singaporeans want. And there's no upper limits, you know. And that's why you are seeing influx of people that come into Singapore. They only care about how much money they can earn in Temasek Holdings and GICs. They doesn't care about selling your jobs away. Singaporeans, you have been sold. Your jobs have been sold by these ruthless people. You got to wake up to let us go into Parliament to scrutinize every free trade agreement that they sign. No more should we allow them to do what they want. We should be awakened that these free trade agreements that they sign is detrimental to our people, our nation, our national identity. And you can see I'm more angry than you. Although I'm not affected by all this influx, because I'm a businessman. But I empathize with the normal workers who have been suffering from this ruthless policy. And these policies are the mother of all problems in Singapore. It's not about your jobs. It's about your MRT breakdown today. It's about your housing. Why it keep going up? It's purely economics. The land is always fixed. And you keep having people coming in and demand the land. What will happen? The land will go up. The land will go up, the rent will go up. The rent will go up, the cost of living will go up. That is the link to you personally. That is why you That's why, my test. That's why you're suffering from all this nonsense. You should see clearly the link. And it is not easy for me to come up with this sentence, mother of all problems. Because it is the truth. I have to prove it is the truth. Or else I will lose credibility. As I said, we are not nonsensical people. We are reasonable people. We are just happen to have the passion, the fire, the heart, and the intellect to check PAP. It is your choice, and it is your power to vote wisely. Vote for change. Vote for People's Power Party. Thank you. 我知道严金勇先生是不会跟我谈政治的。I know Mr. Gan will not debate any policies with me. But I still want to shoot him here. I will pose the question. I pose my solutions. 我会在这边提出我的意见和我的问题，给他去回答。刚才我说过了，建2个土场只花3年，为什么要建单一座医院要花10年，或者甚至15年？这个他要回答我们。I've asked just now, build a casino it only takes 3 years for 2 casinos. Why PAP, such an efficient government, need 10 to 15 years to build 1 hospital? That is the question I posed to him. The second question, since our public hospital cannot cope with our population, there's a bed crunch. Why is Mr. Gan allows public hospital to continue medical tourism? They still want to earn money from the rich, filthy rich people from other countries instead of taking care of our own people. 既然我们的床位、病床都不够足够了，为什么严先生还允许我们本地的公共医院去做医疗旅游这一门生意？虽然是很好赚，赚外国人很有钱的人外国人的钱，但是你自己人都搞不定，你还要去赚别人的钱，这是什么道理？我们的公共医院是以什么理念来跑的，是吗？他就把它当成私人医院来跑，所以有时候还没有津贴的那个价钱，你看了你会吓死人。它比普通的那一些私人医院还要高啊！有了白内障更死，他马上就加价。虽然你最终付的那个价钱呢还是比较低一点点，但是他就说哦，我们给你很多的津贴，你把那个价钱提高了，然后你说我给你津贴，这是什么道理 ？Well, hospitals are run like public hospitals. That means the pricing of its services can be higher than private hospital before subsidies. You go and do a comparison. This is especially so after they come up with a pioneer card. They immediately raise fees. And they claim, and they give the false impression that they are giving a lot of subsidies. This is just playing with figures. Don't hoodwink us. Now, in view of the acute shortage of hospital beds, public hospitals should do away with the differentiation and classification of beds, what B1, B2, and C class. No. In Hong Kong, public hospital remains public. All hospital beds are the same. There's only one class, one ward with 8 beds. That's all. Because the primary motive, aim, is to serve the public. This should be done. 在香港，他们的医院的病房只有一种，没有 B1、B2、C class 的，就是一种。一间病房有8个床位，就是这样简单。为什么呢？它最主要的宗旨是服务大众，不是拿来赚钱的。这才是公共服务。At this stage, it's very difficult to increase the infrastructure and the necessary healthcare providers, workers. We understand that. I think the only way to solve this problem is to have polyclinics extending its operating hours so to cater to less severe cases. Because most of the old people have problems during the night. You don't send old people all the way to the hospital and wait for 36 hours for a bed. You have a polyclinics running 24 hours with certain beds available. It will solve these problems of beds in hospital. People with less severe cases can go to the polyclinic first instead of hospital straight. This is the only viable, immediate solution to the current problems, which is not our problems. They created it. I'm giving them solution. 我就说，现在我们的情况是，病房不足够，我们也没有办法，在隔天就起好一个医院啦，起一间医院，人员也要被培训嘛。所以为今之计呢，就是把那些综合医院综合诊疗所延长它的服务的时间，甚至是24小时。因为老人家通常是在晚上才出现问题的，所以比较不严重的情况底下，就送到这个综合诊疗所去医治，你就不会把整个医院给堵塞住了。这个是唯一的办法了，来解决这个病床的问题。这个问题是他们造成的，我呢是给他们一个解决方案，看他们能不能接受。严金勇什么都不做，什么都不说，这是解决的方案吗？另外一个东西，我们有一个叫做 CHAS 的，你们知不知道 ？CHAS， 它是一个 means test 啊，骗人啊！它是说有一个 mean test 的一个卡哦，所以你去综合诊疗所就有一个折扣了哈，更多的津贴。但是问题是，你把这个卡用在综合诊疗所，就把综合诊疗所阻塞住了。你懂要排队要排多久吗？3个小时看一个医生，5分钟。所以这个不是办法。唯有的办法就是把一些私人的诊疗所叫他们加盟。如果有这个卡的老人家去那边看医生的话，他们也得到同样的折扣。这样你就会舒缓了综合诊疗所的那个压力。但是这个要小心哦，有一些私人诊疗所就看到哦，你有这张卡，他也有样学样啊，学政府啊，马上他把它价格提高一点。哦，这个是要不得的，这个要监督的。啊 ，Why I'm saying there's a card called CHAS, which is mean tested, especially for the old people. You go to polyclinic, You go in there, you have a subsidy discount, cheaper. But you always create a problem. People will wait a long time in polyclinic, 3 hours at least, to see a doctor for 5 minutes. So the only solution that we can have is to get a private doctors, GPs, in the neighborhood to sign in the program to serve people with this CHAS so that they get the same subsidies. And you ease off the polyclinics of the long queue. But we must be very mindful because there's already report that there are some people that will increase the prices with people with pioneer card that go to the private doctors. They will increase the prices immediately and say, from there you discount. They learn from PAP also. So we must be mindful. We have to keep in check, right? So this is the only way to ease off the queue in polyclinic. Well, actually, PAP long time ago, under Kobuman, has promised that there would be no means testing. But they have broken the promise. But nobody seems to be bothered by that. Broken promises. Nevertheless, since we have this mean testing, and now we have a MediShield, they boasted. I tell you, this MediShield have a lot of problems because it's running, as long as the hospitals are running at cost recovering mode. That means the hospital cannot lose money one. It must make money or break even. Or even private enterprises, just like what I say, do medical tourism, do business to earn money, then you will have a problem of medical insurance. Because as a private hospital, when you have insurance, I want to earn your money, all sort of tests I throw to you. That's a problem. That's a called moral hazard in economic terms. So the only way is you cannot allow the public hospital to be so-called restructured in privatized mode. It must serve the people, and it is not about making money or to make money to break even. That should be the way you run a hospital. Right. Now, the transition from the MediShield to MediShield Life has created problems for people with cancer. Previously, when they buy the MediShield, they do not know they have cancer, so they have no rider. Then they cannot cancer, right? But the MediShield will cover them. But when they this transition, the MediShield to MediShield Life, what happened? One of the residents here come forward and tell me he's a cancer patient. He said the MediShield Life told him that he need to pay a rider 30% more that he previously is paying, a premium. Is it fair? You force me to transit from a MediShield to MediShield Life, and you force me to pay a rider, which should be covered by MediShield in the first place. So this cancer patient told me, jialat lah. All those with chronic illness and all that, they will have a problem. I will ask Mr. Gan, what are you going to do about it? The main problem of MediShield Life lies in the details. MediShield Life only paid out 65%. That means 1 year he collected the premium. He only paid out the maximum as 65% to pay for medical costs. It means that he make money, so-called make money, profit 35%. Why? According to the papers that they put up, because they want to build the reserve of 160% to 200%. That is a problem. In private insurance, MAS only require an insurance company to build a reserve of 120%. Reserve means the normal payout, you must have 120% of the payout. So you don't go, because you will fluctuate, so you don't go bankrupt. Right? That's a MAS requirement. Now, in private insurance, they only maintain 120%. This is very technical. 120% reserve. And their payout rate is 80%, and they still can make money. So I want to ask Mr. Gunn, is your MediShield Life out to make money or not? People 80% payout still make money, you only 65%. What is the logic? You are a government insurance scheme. How can it be? My dear Singaporeans, as I have said, if PAP is sincerely working for Singaporeans, it should not be milking us in and out with every opportunity. Even people with cancer also want to milk. That's a sad state. We are a country. We are not a company. A company, a private company, you can sack anybody if you don't like him. But you are running a country, you cannot say, I don't like you, I will throw you into the sea. Right? How can you run a country like a company? If Mr. Gunn is a good minister, he should have implemented proper checks on the MAP immigration policy when he was a minister of manpower. If Mr. Gunn is a good minister, he will not come up with MediShield Life. That's in every way squeezing us to the max. And the fact is, people who work in Singapore are supposed to contribute to the aging population, right? He's supposed to supplement the deficit that we are expecting when our people get old, right? But the truth is, they're only interested in the workers' levy for themselves. They didn't make these foreign workers to pay MediShield. They did not contribute to the pool, to cross-subsidize our own people. They should not ask for high levies. They should make these people who enjoy the stability here to pay for MediShield, to help our older people in healthcare costs. Why, Mr. Gunn, are you not doing it? I want to ask Mr. Gunn. It is your choice. It is your power to decide what you want for your future and your children's future and your future generation's future. I cannot force you to vote for me. I hope you can vote for me. Thank you. Good night.